One on when me check it out, Lord, no better than Lord. Come on, say.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Well, welcome to another edition of Reasoning Thursdays with yours truly, Lady D, Queen, Mama Asid, Jai, Darespecta, Noni the Juice. Yes, well, welcome. Yes, man, numbers in the studio 706-955-2001. Want to say big ups to all of our sponsors. Thank you for continuing to support us. That is One by One Kia, Hinkson Law Firm, Unique Total Care, True Blackberry, and Botastic.com and Mystique Enterprise, Awesome Renovations. Just want to say big ups to each and every one that continue to support us. Also to all of our brotherly station, I want to say big shout to the Victorious 89.1 FM. Massive shouts to you, Dr. J, and the crew. Two big shouts go out to You Choose Radio, DJ VJ Smiles, Ross Dougal. I want to say massive shouts go out to you as well. Man, I'm telling you, it is the topics is huge on tonight. I'm waiting for well, I'm not sure what's going on with the respective phone, so I guess he's calling in. And I'm gonna wait for him to join us. But we do have Jai on the forum. We have Noni the Juice. We have the Queen of all queens. You know, yours truly, Lady T. We all are right here. So, given the opportunity to each one to say hello to the listeners, and then we'll dive right into what our topics are for the evening. All righty. So, go Queen. You want to say greetings to the listeners?
Welcome. As usual, we appreciate each week that you tune in. We have people that are faithful, and we greatly appreciate you guys. Remember to spread the word. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell even a coworker about what is going on over here at Reasoning Thursdays. Again, thank you all for tuning in. And welcome my co-host, host, and hostess.
Jai, Noni the Juice, you want to chime in there?
Yes. Glad to be on the show. All those who are listening, welcome.
All right. Darespecta, Jai, Darespecta. Well, Jai, ladies first, Darespecta. Jai.
Hello. Thanks for having me again as a guest.
All right, go ahead, Darespecta.
Truthfully grateful for you assisting us with your time. Appreciate you. Continue to love you. Continue to the friend and family member. Welcome.
All right, welcome. Well, blessings to you, Donna. Don says, blessings to you, Don. Greetings to all of the listeners once again. We have some topics here. On our list, we have, definitely 47 is in the news and all this tariffs and what it's going on, what it's costing, the havoc that it's causing. China, Japan, South Korea, Jamaica is in your news. What about this? Contraception begins at erection. What do you think about that? Yeah, like how they're trying to tell the ladies on what to do. How about us telling the men on what to do? Right? Contraceptions, okay, begins at erection. All right. Also, in your headline is human behavior, how easily distraction um can take you in a different direction. So we're gonna reason on that. We're gonna reason on that. Alrighty. We're going to also reason on cops in Atlanta speaking patois. I want to know your. I want to know your.
Yes, yes.
I want to know your thoughts on that one. And we have some a good highlight with a question from myself though. A school in Jamaica, as we said, Jamaica's in our headliners. They have a program that's going on, and it's just for boys. We're going to talk about that as well, and you let me know. We're going to reason on that, and you let me know what's your thought on it. 47, you know, I said already he's in the news. Can he really do a third term? Trying to say it look like he can. So we're gonna reason on that as well. You know, I don't know if I really want to touch this next one here, but someone sent it in to us. I didn't even write down the individual name because they're saying incest in family. Um, I don't know. We're gonna maybe put that one on the fence. I think we may put that one on the fence. The respect to turn on your theme name. So we have those on the list, and so let's dive into it. Let's dive right into it. And for the listener who sent that, if you're listening via, because I don't know if you're listening via any of the social medias or if you're listening via the website or the telephone, um, I didn't go over because I saw it a few minutes ago as to your topic on incest on family and the video that was sent. So we'll reason on that maybe maybe next week or something. But let's dive right into it. Where we're going to start with? Do we want to start some good news? Do we want to should we touch something a little funny first? And or should we ask the big question? Contraception begins at erection. Should we put this baby situation in the hands of men, since the hand of since men is taking away women rights? You know, let's talk about it. Or and then or human behavior. I think human behavior may go a little way. So let's get all of the uplas out of the way, and then we get into this serious reasoning on human behavior. All right, that the respecter put forth to all of us. Respecter, you hearing me good?
Clearly.
Clearly? All right. So what's
Yes.
going on? What's going on? You need to try to log in again, man. Cause we love seeing your face and your expressions. All right.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
We love seeing the respecter face and his expression. All right. Um, so let's go into, and this is one too that I wanted to just touch a little bit of. And it is in Jamaica, there was a landlord who burned down his house because the tenant's been there for a whole year and wouldn't pay no rent. And he's jumping through all these hoops in the law and not getting them out of his house. So he decided to just burn down the house. Would you all burn? Would you all burn?
That's drastic.
Would you all burn down your house? Would you all burn down your house? Acid login. Would
Okay,
you all burn down your house?
that's drastic.
That's drastic. That's real
Yes,
drastic.
yes, that's
Yeah, that's real drastic.
But what did he gain? He
It might
lost
not be
instead of
drastic because
gaining.
if the house burned down, he might have a good insurance claim. Well, obviously he didn't get away with it, but if you got away with it, he came up.
Honey, he lost. In any way you put it, he lost. He didn't win
Well,
because
well, you know,
how much rent did they owe? I mean,
one whole year of rent.
I
One
couldn't
whole
get
year
him
of
out.
rent. They
They
owed
couldn't
one
get
whole
him
year of
out.
rent. He couldn't get them out. So he burned down his house. Well, you remember the houses in Jamaica, most of they made of brick. So it's
Yeah,
like our places up here made of a lot of wood. You know,
yeah.
so I mean basically the inside torched, but the outside was still standing. So I guess he figured that all right, burn them out, burn out their goods. But then I'm also wondering what kind of repercussions is gonna happen when they file suit.
Yeah.
Him, burning them out. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a fair trade.
It's a fair
But
trade.
It's
but
a fair trade.
you
Okay.
know what? Um, I remember as a child in Jamaica, they used to bailiff people. They used to call it bailiff, where they bailiff people. And a lot of people used to do that. They used to set the place on fire when they bailiff them. Like bailiff is taking your furnitures and stuff away in Jamaica. They do that when you hold rent, right? They take all your furnitures and
Yeah.
stuff. So some people, there were a lot of people that was burning out the house, burning it up.
Well,
When they
I'm
took.
gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see what's the outcome of this. Noni, would you burn your house down? Noni got us on mute. All right. So I gotta wait and hear what the respected Mama Acid has to say on that about burning them
Mhm.
out. I don't know. I don't
Fair
know.
trade. You missed a whole year's worth of lost a year's worth of rent. But
Yeah.
then my property is already probably, when you really think about it, common wear and
Mhm.
tear on top of
Uh,
no telling what you was doing in there. We don't know if it was bug infested,
mhm.
small mice. You don't know what was in there. So I feel, and it's made of brick. I could put some
Mhm.
floors down, put some walls back up, and buy some
Okay,
counters.
I see your
And then if
logic.
you're looking at it on an emotional level,
Yeah,
you pissed
yeah.
me off for 365 days.
Temporary insanity.
Temporary 365 days.
Insanity.
It's a fair trade that I burn your couch.
And they said the man was there. The man was standing there videoing it.
Yeah, and you watch on camera, play it on repeat.
Video it.
365 days of watching it the same way I sat for 365 with no money. It's a fair trade.
Okay, we're gonna leave it as a fair trade. We're gonna leave it as a fair trade, Jack. All right,
Mm.
that was just a little joke thrown in there, but it's true. It's a true story.
Yeah,
In
but
Jamaica,
but it is true. I mean, come on now,
it's
one year, a whole year.
one
I
whole
mean, and
year.
won't get out, and
It's,
still won't get out.
it's
Something.
the same thing like these squatters here in America, and they're in your houses here in America, and it's the same thing with these squatters here in America, and they don't want to pay their rent. They move in these people houses, and you're trying to get these squatters out of your house, and they're in there. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. So
And they're protected.
yeah,
That's the
they're
main thing. And I
protected.
gotta pay more money to get you out, and you're not even supposed to be there.
So kudos to you, Mr. Man in Jamaica. Burn it down, burn it down.
Bunny dog, yeah, bunny dog.
I
I
think they're
said,
even. I think they're even.
they even. I said,
Yeah.
yeah. We said burn it down. We said burn it down, fire burn. Yeah. Listen.
Look here, the fat lady is singing.
Huh?
The fat lady is singing.
Okay,
Yeah.
fat lady say. All right, fat lady say. Okay. All right. So the consensus is burn it down. Yeah. Yeah. And then just breathe. All right.
And rebuild. Yeah.
Back to our topics.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up here because I'm gonna log on on the internet.
Alrighty,
I
cool.
just wanted to jump in because y'all was having so much fun.
All right, log it in.
Be right back.
All
Hey,
right.
Lady D, the roof is on fire.
The roof is on fire. We're gonna burn it down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? One whole year you sit in these people's house, don't want to pay no bills, right? And then one whole year, no son, no. That's too much. That is too much. All right, the respecter.
That's a good one.
The respecter. The respecter.
I don't respect this man. I don't know. I mean, I tune in, just tune in and I listen.
Blessings.
Blessings.
When I tell you, say, the fat lady singing, I was like, okay, I gotta call in. Lord of mercy. But I gotta give it to you all though. Consistency, you know?
Yes.
Being of service to the people. All when we forget so we need to tune in, you're always on it.
Yes.
Big up to you. Big up to you, yeah?
Yes, blessings.
And the queen and respect on everybody else.
Thank
You know?
Blessing. Thanks.
Blessings.
Spring has sprung, you know, and all me I think about some outdoor concert. The other day you have to make it happen.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna have to make it happen down here. We gotta bring down and the whole masses down here.
I work on it, but me need help.
Okay, well link me. You link me and we're gonna talk about it. Because we're kinda ready. We're kinda ready on this end.
Me ready long time, but somebody said you're ready, then you have to get ready.
That's it. We're not getting ready. We're ready. All right.
Ready more than ready.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, man, give God the good work. I'm not going to tune in and just go and listen, but me just want to acknowledge to make it know.
You're
still up on the grind and me just took a break, I call it a night, and just come outside and I listen and say, bro, you're always on it.
All
you know?
right. We have to, because the masses is listening and the masses is depending.
That's it. You need to put it out there. You have to put it out there.
We're gonna get you on I'm gonna get you on the program so you can tell us a little bit about your upcoming show in July. You have your program.
You're not coming through so clear like Queen, but you know my number. They're always on duty when it comes to taking care of my people's business.
All right. I definitely know. But all right, we're gonna reason with you.
I hope. Yeah. Not a shameless plug. I hope you and Queen and Respect and everybody are come to Jamaica for the July 12th. It's gonna be an awesome event.
Yes, and you know, July 12th is my Earth Strong. So so I possibly got to all right.
I call out to the universe. You know, we can make you come in on a chariot.
All right.
Hey, listen. It's not a joke. It's a serious thing. You know the power of the word sound, right? If you don't mean it, don't speak it.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So I do everything with purpose, and I say nothing. I don't. They say loose lip, sink ship. And we have to stay afloat on the Black Star Liner, so we don't talk loosely.
All right.
Whatever we need, we put it out in the universe.
I'm looking for my chariot when I come. All right. July 12th. And I'm gonna give you a link, and then we can link and talk about it a little bit on the Lady B show.
All right. Sure.
All right. So bless up, blessings.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Speaking truth to power.
Thank you.
Pray the Most High and the ancestors watch and protect you and you grow. Your potential is infinite.
All right. Blessings.
Aye. One perfect love.
All right.
All right. So the respecter.
Well, I can't log in. I'm at home and try.
Aye, baby. I'll send you another link. See, Mama Asid log in here. I don't know what happened to your thing there, but the respecter. All right, we have some hot topics. We need to dive into the topics because the time is running. All right. I just wanted to throw that little funny one in there about burning down the landlord. I don't know if you heard it. The respect of the landlord burned down the house.
I heard Simon.
I, I,
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
I wouldn't burn it down. What I would have done, I would have got as much beef as I could. Late at night, I would have throw it on top of the roof. I made the drunk with him, so I'm the property. I didn't need that at all.
Okay, that's another way. That's another way to do it. That's another way to
Yeah,
do it. I guess he was just trying to really, cause they can kill the drunk, they can kill the bees and all these things, but they can't. When you burn out, you just burn out. Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I
But I lose
understand his
more money
concept.
building back.
I understand his concept. I have one more joke. One more joke, and then we get serious. How about that? There was then we get serious. We're gonna dive into 47. We want to talk about contraception begins at erection. We're gonna do all of those topics. All right. Human behavior. Um, 47 in your headline. All of those stuff. We're gonna reason on. Now imagine imagine being okay, my wife. Imagine being arrested and you're American. Now I know Noni the Jews already know Jamaica, patois and all that. Noni the
I'm
Jews.
I'm I'm Jamaica. I already told y'all that.
Tell her again. Tell her again.
I'm
So
Jamaica.
Noni,
Yeah,
this guy was arrested.
right.
And the cop start talking in patois. The guy said, "Sit down in the car." Put in the car. And the guy said, "What are you talking about? I don't understand." He said,
I
"You
don't
understand?
understand you.
It's a turn on in the car." So what I wonder I should have had someone else on the line because I have everyone on the line that understands
Right.
patois, understands Jamaican language. So I
No,
wonder
he said, push your foot in the car. And the guy said, I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
that means. He said, you don't
Mean.
speak English?
I said, "You
He
don't speak English."
said, "Me say sit down."
He said, "Sit up. I'll put your foot in the car." You know what I'm saying? That is so funny. That is so funny. Man,
Oh, that was funny.
I said, Lord have mercy. They should a lot more police
You,
officers that
you,
are Caribbean when
you
they
know
arrest.
what I thought of? You know what I thought of when I saw it? I said maybe this was planned and planted. Like they wanted to like maybe try it and see what happened, how people responded to it. If like people from the Caribbean, a different tongue, different dialect, if
Well,
they
that's
would
what I said.
talk
That's what I
to
said. I think
how they would react.
yeah, that's why I said I think that a lot more Caribbean um
Yeah.
police officers because there are lots of police officers who are from the Caribbean, not just Jamaica, but
Yeah, but they don't normally speak,
no,
in that
they
language,
speak
that
American.
dialect.
Yeah, they speak American dialect. But I mean, they should
Hmm.
show in the patois in there and talk somewhere like this guy. It was so hilarious. I just loved it. I just loved it. All right,
I did too.
I just loved it. Okay, let's get down. Let's get down
Mhm.
to the nitty
Right.
gritties.
You wanna deal with London since it's not that long. It's just a little,
I didn't know we had London. So what we have about
yeah,
London?
about
Oh,
Little London, the high
yeah. Okay.
school.
Yeah, let's go into that real quick.
That's a quick thing. Okay. This school is in Westmoreland, Jamaica. And why it was so intriguing to me was because it's few schools or program you hear that caters to the young men in terms of their development and their achievements in life. So this school, what they do is every Saturday, and this has been going on now for about 2 years now. Every Saturday, they would get all these boys, and I mean, these boys are well dressed in their uniform. They have them dressed in uniform with tie and all of that. And what they do, they go to this empowering program, and they teach them, how to be resourceful, how to be a man, and how to know what you're doing in life. And there's a lot of them that comes out real good. They did an interview with one of the young guys, And he said what it did for him was his mother, she was away and he couldn't function, and it was really helpful for him. I'm trying to make it quick. It was really helpful for him in his development, and now that he has the program behind him, he can look forward to going on to a trade school or what have you. But it motivates them, and they keep in touch with them, and every Saturday they have that group meeting where they meet together and they talk and discuss what they need to do, what happened, during the week and all of that. So I think it was a good program, and I just wanted to highlight them. It's Little London High School, and it's called Empowering Boys, and it's in Westmoreland.
Well, kudos to them. Good job to them. Good job to them for doing that. And
Yeah,
maybe that will give them a little push into doing more than being on the corners and stuff.
yeah.
That another school.
And that's the thing. I had so much negative things out there. This was good,
I wish another school would take up young ladies as
Mm.
and teach the young ladies different things that they can do as well to uplift their lives. So yeah, kudos to London High School in Westmoreland. Big up yourself. And yeah, hoping other schools follow suit to give our young men an outlook on life, a better outlook on life. All righty. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So anybody wanted to comment on that?
Go Westmoreland.
All right. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So
Mhm.
there was another quick topic as to a father, he leaves his kids in the McDonald's
Well, mhm.
and went to do a job interview.
Mhm.
He came, they said they saw him come in and out a couple of times, but you know, by the last time he came in, they called the police and he had did the interview where he came in. With time so hard, and it's so hard to get babysitters and stuff like that. What what do you all think about that? He was trying to get a job. Not that it's an excuse because we're looking at age 1, 6, and 10. I'm saying that maybe if he did that, why he didn't go and speak with someone at the cash register and say to them, listen, I really, really need this job. And, I don't have anyone to watch my kids. Can you all just keep a quick eye out on them for just 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Let me run in here, do this interview, and come back. Because time is hard. We know that it's difficult to get a job, it's difficult to get babysitters, stuff like that. Do you all, they arrested, nonetheless, he ended up being arrested. The mom left work and came and stayed with the children, collect the children from the authorities so they wouldn't have to go into custody. Um, What's your thoughts on that? Anybody have a thought on it? Or move on?
I do.
Go ahead, Darespecta.
I mean, no matter what store it is, McDonald's, Burger King, you name it, people haven't learned that instead of calling the police, let me see how I can get more information on the situation here. See if I can keep my eyes on these young people. When the father comes back, let me speak with the father and see what's going on. Why people keep thinking calling the police is the solution? As many black people that's been gunned down, and they're still calling the police. It's not making any sense. And not only that, the police comes and he sees the kids. Having a conversation with the father to find out what took place and understanding their situation. And that's the best he can do to lock the man up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, in in most of the states, leaving children on supervised is it's against the law. Yes, I understand the situation, but anything could have happened, especially with the young one, the little one. I could see if they were like older, if they were 10-year old, even 7-year old, then I could see even leaving them for a few minutes. not too long now. But to leave them in there, unattended to, that wasn't a good move. I understand you need a job. Um, there have to have been somebody you might have could have called and say, "Can I just can you just keep an eye on them for a few minutes for me, hour or so for me, so I can go to this interview?" And again, we don't have that. You know how they used to say, "It takes a village to raise a child." We don't have that anymore. Years ago, we used to have that. If I saw something like that, I would have stretched out and I would have helped. But now people don't do that anymore. So,
Queen,
we
and
should
Queen,
have kept
I'm
that in
gonna
there.
jump in right there because
Yeah.
when you say he must would have had someone that could have kept them for an
No, I said he could have. Yeah, I'm saying he could have
right,
asked
but
someone to.
maybe he did, and there was
Maybe too.
and my
Mhm.
only thing to that is I'm not condoning it. He left them in the play area or whatever. And yes, it's a dangerous situation because anyone could have came and kidnapped them. Anything could have occurred. But what I'm saying is that the staff there saw him come in and out. Like I guess he went in, didn't think the interview was gonna be so long, came out, checked on them, went back. But what I'm saying, he should have asked someone there, one of the employees, and see
Yeah.
what their thought would have been. Just keep an eye out just for a few minutes because I really, really need this job, and um, I really need this job. So can you just please help me out because I have no one to look
Yeah.
to keep these kids for me. So
But he did good. People donate money after all that.
yeah, they have a lot of people that is vying for
But,
him as well. To
mhm.
help him through this situation. But it's
Yeah.
like you said, Queen, in regards to the village, you know,
Yeah.
there's not that village,
That's it. That's it. Hmm.
yeah, and a lot of persons are not willing to help out. Sometimes my children, they're in situations where if I'm not here, sometimes they don't have any help. And yes, sometimes they do contact their aunts and their cousins. And sometimes everyone, in this society at this time, everyone is living their lives.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
True.
I'm sorry for the situation that occurred with him, and I'm just hoping that things be better. The great thing is that the kids weren't turned over to DFACS or anything like that. They were released
That's
into
it.
mom's custody, and that's a good thing. Did anyone else want to touch that before we move?
I'm like everybody else. He was feeling like he couldn't reach out, but my thing is, desperate situations call for desperate measures.
Yeah,
I'm one that I'm gonna ask. You know what I'm saying? Pride aside,
Mhm.
if I need some help, I'm gonna ask somebody something now.
yeah,
But not sure where he was, like, mentally having to make that type of decision.
yeah,
But safety first, at all times, especially for
Mhm.
children,
yeah.
whether
Yeah.
you man or a woman.
Safety
Mhm.
first. All right. All right. Okay, so let's move on from that topic. So I just wanted, we were just throwing in a couple of those little things there.
Yeah.
So are we going to go to 47? Are we going to go to
Man, that's
Jamaica,
47.
Jamaica visa free? Are we going to go to contraception begin at erection act? Or are we going to go to human behavior?
I don't hear acid. Where is acid?
Acid's there. Acid's there. Her topic ain't come up yet.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm writing, but I'm here.
Her topic ain't come up yet. So let's go to real quick because this can be a quick thing as well.
Yeah.
Contraceptions begin at erection act. There was an act that was in Mississippi that was put in, and it was done by Senator Bradford Blackman. And it was denied in their Senate meeting on February the 4th. But Jai had brought this to our attention. And the intent of the act was that men cannot discharge um, without intent for procreation. So That's me, that men that's going around, because it takes two people to have a children. So if man is going around and they're having sex, sexual intercourse with individuals and just ejaculating all over the place, that leads to people having that's where children come about. So since the women is always being held responsible um, in regards to um, contraception, in regards to abortion, in regards to all of these things, this bill was put into place to make men be responsible as to when they going out there and sleeping around with women without protection and getting them pregnant. If I was in Senate, I would have voted for this law. I would have voted for this law because when are we gonna hold men accountable
Yeah.
for their part in 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 producing children, who in making children? They go around and they sleep wherever they want to sleep and pass their sperm all around the place. And then these men are not held accountable for their part in it. We
It's
are
called patriarchy.
Yeah, we are left to carry the child. We are left to make the decision. We are left to take care of the children. We are left to do everything. When is men going to be held accountable for their part in this whole thing? And if what happened to men contraceptive? What happened to holding men accountable for this? Big up yourself, Myra. Myra said blessings to all.
Yeah,
I want anyone have an opinion on this, and then we're gonna just touch it real quick, and then we move on because we have some hot, serious business to talk about on this show tonight.
Oh yeah, it's patriarchy. Can I say something? Just
Sure.
yeah.
one thing, little thing.
Go ahead.
Patriarchy is where men design a system and they design it around them instead of around everyone. That is patriarchy.
Okay. And that's what they've done.
I'm I'm gonna say that like this. I'm not defending man, okay?
Greetings, Donna. Good
But I
night.
do know that, huh?
No. Go ahead. Donna had texting. Good night.
I'm not defending man on this. But
Okay.
the man who came up with this idea, I know everyone that he let her it. We're laughing at him. Because how the hell was government gonna know when the man is doing what he's doing with the woman?
No, he's
Everything you're saying,
go ahead.
if a man is with you, lady D, how they gonna know what's going on when he ejaculate or not?
If you become pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, you become pregnant by a man
Mm.
who have a woman or don't have a woman, have women, and he's trying to deny and they lock his ass up.
But they're not locking them
Lock
up
him up.
now.
No.
But they're
You
not
get
locking
fined.
But
them
The
up now.
first offense is a
but
thousand
they
dollars.
need to. They
Yeah.
need to punish the man because the man know what he had and what he went and did.
Right.
And it's both sides. The man can't get between the woman's legs if the woman don't open up for him. Most
Okay.
times the woman knows better, but the man is a sweet talker and promising her, and she's believing what he's promising her, and things happen.
But the
But it's
woman is the
still
only
illegal.
one really with restrictions and kind of being crucified. Like
Yes.
nothing happens to you
No,
besides if I go file
no,
papers and everybody thinks
I'm
child support
understanding
is the
you.
worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm understanding you. A woman gets pregnant instead of the man just walking away and she don't see him no more. The woman needs to do everything in her power to bring him to his knees, on top of what the government's gonna do.
Yeah, but
You
right.
see, right
So
now there is no
why do I even have to do
accountability.
all of that?
There is no accountability, and if there is accountability placed on these men, I'm
And
quite
even
sure they'll be
respect.
different.
They'll be
Yeah.
different.
You
That's
don't
what
have
I'm
any respect if
Patriarchy.
you feel like
He wants
I
to
deserve
rule,
that.
but he doesn't want to accept the power of the purse.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you are the factory, you are the ruler. Men come in with patriarchy, which is a false point of control, specifically geared against women, because they think their magic stick can make them more, possibly more able in a situation when in actuality we see more of them walking away than accepting the truth of the situation or even standing up to do what is necessary, which is why this bill was introduced. I would like to give the history if anybody's interested, because I brought this about 6 months ago, thinking that this was going to get knocked out back then, but it lived 6 months simply because it was a response to the abortion rights and responsibilities bill, which said that women had all the responsibility in a pregnancy induced by two people. So,
Yeah.
also, another thing that was left out was about the petri dish. This part of it we haven't talked about, and I think it's very important. The petri dish people, okay? Like apartheid Clyde, they go in there and jack off in a glass jar and then they kill all the women. That's called infanticide. Do they not realize that if a woman is not involved, first thing, it is not a viable embryo? That's the first thing, because the baby doesn't decide until 6 to 8 weeks after okay, 6 to 8 weeks after it becomes a zygote, it then decides hormonally if it is a girl or a boy egg.
Okay, go to
So
bed.
men, you don't have nothing to do with that either.
Let's give the respect a minute to respond. Go ahead.
Why? Why? Why does he need a minute? He's already told us what he had to say, and all of it is patriarchy. You don't like women? Leave us alone, sir.
But look, I said he
Let
was
me
agreeing with us
Go
at
ahead.
one point.
Go ahead, the
He
respect.
was agreeing.
Go ahead, the respecter.
Mama, yeah, Mama Acid. I've been saying I agree with what all of you are saying. I am a man, but I'm a different kind of man, Mama Acid. Always been. I've never been with two women at one time. I don't play around and use a woman without protection, unless it's my woman. I'm a different kind of man, Mama Acid. I know men and know women who've been in those same positions. And a woman, regardless, the average woman who been hurt by a man and still trust another man without protection is reckless. So she didn't think about diseases. She didn't think about a child coming into this world without a man, without a father. So that, like I said earlier, the woman needs to be angry, beyond angry, and find every way possible to bring that man down on top of what the government's going to do. The man should not escape his punishment for doing that to a woman, knowing he has a woman out there and he's just playing those games. Talking about a child coming into his world, another child without a father. So
Okay, sir, right there. Stop right there, because I like to give you something that I really think you deserve. You deserve some love because you definitely want to support women, but you need to understand that the fact that men think they are at the top of the biological tree, you need to go ahead and just acquiesce, sir. Because the bottom line is that hermaphrodites can impregnate themselves. That's a scientific fact. It's been proven for hundreds of years. So please don't believe that you are the only way that a woman can be in control, because women are in control whether men are here or not.
Okay.
Men are a byproduct of a woman.
Without bringing up all of that and going another totally different direction, the bill was made, although it was shot down. Let's let the audience understand that it was shot down on February the 4th. It didn't go far, but the bill was made because, as we stated, women were being left to carry the entire bag, which, once again, kudos to Brad Blackman, a senator, Democratic senator in Mississippi, who brought this forward to try to get it as an act or as a law, for men, to hold men responsible. And as Asid said earlier, it was indirect to the Roe versus Wade and everything being put on women. So once again, we do understand that it's a man's world.
No, it's not.
It's a
No, it's
man's
not. It's
world.
not.
They try to make it a
Doesn't
man.
exist
Look,
without a woman or
lady,
a girl.
James Brown. James
panel.
Brown.
They try to make it a man's world, but they cannot because I mean, women. We are the people who give birth to to people in the world. I mean,
But I
it's a
understand,
woman's
Mama.
Not even
world.
factory status because you are a brand.
I understand. Mama actually elaborated on the what Hermaphrodites or whatever you however you pronounce it. And all of that. But the bottom line is it takes a male and a female to make a child. So
Close them legs.
we all
Keep
should
them legs
be
closed.
we all should be
No, you
and that
don't.
should keep their tools in their pocket.
Normally.
How about
No,
that?
you
Yes,
Normally,
can't.
yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
Go ahead, Noni.
Naturally and normally.
Yeah,
Naturally and normally, that's the way it takes place. So
yeah,
let's be
yeah.
clear on that.
Let's be clear. Okay, so they both should be held responsible for this. So once
Yes,
again, kudos to
yes.
Bradford Blackford, and I think they need to bring this bill back again. All right, keep
Yes,
in the in their faces and having them to keep rejecting it. It's okay. Just keep doing it. And so they can get the gist of that. It's a two-person responsibility. It's not just a woman, it's a man and a woman responsibility for any child, whether you keep your leg open or you keep your leg closed, because if your legs are open, it didn't tell the man that he must go in there. So therefore, he's responsible too. You understand the
and
respect?
The
and the
most
respecter.
part,
You
part,
said you you said you also said that how would they know? Um,
no,
listen,
no,
if
no,
something
no.
like that is go
I
listen,
misunderstood.
if something like that is going on and women know about this, a lot of women will bust on you. They'll tell on you. I mean, if it's gonna help them. So I mean, it will be effective if it goes into existence.
All right, all
I
right.
mean, I did
Let's
not
move on.
understand that
Let the
if
respecter
she's talking about.
respond. Let the respecter
I
respond,
did
and then
not.
we're gonna move on. Go ahead, the
I,
respecter.
I did not fully understand that she was saying that once a woman becomes pregnant.
Mhm.
I was
Well,
thinking that she's talking about the man going around and just dumping, dumping, and dumping and dumping
well, it didn't
to
state that once
different
the
women.
woman. It didn't state that once the woman is pregnant. You just asked how would they know? I said, well, obviously, if a woman becomes pregnant, and then yeah, with Queen stating that if it is discussed, then yeah, they,
Mhm.
it's out there
Right,
in the opening
right.
as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
those were just yeah. All righty, so let's move on. Let's move on because we have bigger fish to fry. We have some fry. Jamaica, because Queen bought this up with Jamaica being visa free. And we were trying to let her understand that earlier that there's no way Jamaica can be visa free for America and be a part considered one of the states in America because we're under the Queen regime. We're under UK regime. So there's no way this ad that is going around on face all these social medias that Andrew is making um a deal with America in regards to breaking news, Jamaica to become a U.S. territory. Andrew Holness, hence the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness told the media that the Jamaica is on verge of becoming a territory of the United States. And that according to Andrew Holness, Jamaica will be joining Puerto Rico, Guam, whatever, to become permanently inhabited territory of the United States. That is definitely an Al generated thing. That, or if it's not Al generated, it's someone just put this together. We are under the Queen regime. There's no way that this can be possible. Okay. Um. So let's decipher this thing real quick so that the listeners can understand why. It cannot, although I've already said it. Why? And we're also not an independent country. Jamaica is Jamaica is independent, but yet not independent. We do have a head of state. So um there's no way this something like this can be. All right. Anybody want to elaborate? Anybody know anything about this? Mama Acid, the respecter.
The Commonwealth.
Uh-huh.
Talk about the Commonwealth and also talk about what actually happens when you become a part of a Commonwealth. UK Commonwealth includes most CARICOM countries, as well as a few countries in Asia. And with Jamaica being one of those countries, it cannot just suddenly change its constitution without declaring itself no longer a part of the Commonwealth of the United Kingdom. Because if it did that, it would lose all of the power that comes with that connection. But that in itself is a controversy because there's no real control. And what does control Jamaica right now is the Privy Court, and the Privy Court is located in the UK. The seat of the Privy Court is King Charles. The head of the Privy Court is King Charles. So when you look at the money in Jamaica, you don't see anyone's picture but King Charles and whomever the national hero that is on that denomination. As well, the independence vote has not been held in Jamaica until it is held, and the parliament votes on it and presents a resolution directly to the UK Parliament saying we are declaring independence, as was demonstrated 4 years ago by Mia Motley and Barbados when they handed back their flag. So until Jamaica does that, Jamaica is still a part of the UK Commonwealth.
Right. And that's what I was saying to Queen earlier.
Yeah.
If we were independent, such as Barbados is, then okay, I can see something like this circulating and it being somewhat true. But because we are not, then it's definitely it cannot be true and it cannot happen.
And it's not that I did not know, all of that and how Jamaicans and what, but let me tell you something. I look at things like this. Since 47 has been in power, there are so many things that are not the norm happening. Okay? So therefore, I put it out there as a question, can this happen? Is Mr. Man down there, is he desperate enough to sell out the country? Because most of Jamaicans, they don't want that to happen. They want to retain whatever they have there, even though they want the economy and what have you to be better. So that's one of the things I was thinking of. Because it is possible. You were saying, lady, that it's not possible, but I was saying that it is possible, that this could happen, especially with the Mr. Man 47 and his goals and his aspirations and all of these things put together. And if he wants something, it seemed like at this point in time and what he has been doing, a felon getting to be the president, it makes me wonder what else can he do? Because from what I heard, he wants Jamaica badly.
I think that I feel that maybe it would take a whole complete immigration reform. I mean, not immigration, constitutional reform in order for something like this to take place. If it wasn't, that's something where 47 will have to basically talk to the prince as well. Well, the king now, because I was saying under the queen regime, but now it's under the king regime, to see if such a thing, and if they were going to financially carry that weight for Jamaica for something like that to take place. But I don't.
But that's something Jamaica's been considering for a while. That's why they were trying to change the constitutions and all of that.
Yeah, they're considering to become independent, but not
right. Independent. Yeah.
they're seeking to become independent, but they're not seeking to become a part of U.S. territories.
Right.
I don't think, and I don't think that Jamaica have everything that the US, they have a lot that the US wants. But I don't think that the US will, they're not even investing in us for crime and certain things, much less to talk about investing so much money and time just for us to be independent, then for us to come under, to be, then for us to transition into being a US territory. I just don't see where that
But
is.
they were talking of, it was also stating about the assistance that Jamaica would get with the crime prevention and all of these things. Well, I did two different research. I did the one that I sent you that clip on, and I did one on Google. And you know, these are some of the things I was reading and trying to figure out. And that's why I thought I would bring it to the panel and get your idea and your feedback on it.
Okay, Darespecta, you want to speak on it? You want to reason on it?
I believe without Britain control on Jamaica, I don't think that would be a move to be even considered by 47 or anyone else in the other country, because they will be opening up a can of worms, wake up the ant's nest. Because just imagine countries that they control in Jamaica, making Jamaica part of their country, their world. All the gangsters, the dons of Jamaica, all of the gangsters of Jamaica finding their way without legal papers. It wouldn't be nice.
Yeah,
It
because
would
then,
be a bad move.
yeah, looking into that too, Darespecta, there, we will be, Jamaica will have free reigns to travel in and out of America, unstoppable.
That was some of the things posed. Yeah.
It wouldn't. So I don't think that 47 is ready for that, and I think that is a
He
big.
ain't ready for it.
I think
No.
that's a big can of worms that I don't think he's ready to open. Jai,
Right.
the juice you wanted, Jai or Noni the juice you wanted to comment, and then we let Mama Acid come in, or you all are good. Okay, go ahead, Mama Acid.
One of the things that Marco Rubio was in Jamaica to discuss was cryptocurrency and also Jamaica's attachment to old Department of Defense weaponry and ammunitions and goods and weapons because Jamaica gets the dump. When that happens, that counts as trade credit, which it really shouldn't. But it does because Jamaica buys all this old broken stuff that nobody else will buy from the Department of Defense. The second part of it is that nobody really knows who's making the payment for it because we don't know what the Department of Defense collects for these armaments that they dump in different places. And we don't really know they're dumping it because there's just no discussion about it. That's also part of why this is so important because Marco Rubio is there specifically to discuss money. He is not there to discuss anything other than money.
All right. All right.
Mm.
Well, any more comments? Any more reasoning comments on that topic?
Well, honey, let's wait and see because all kind of stuff coming up right now. Trinidad have a travel thing going on now where you have to now have a visa to go there. It's like a whole lot of craziness going on in this world
Everybody,
since this 47. This man went in and it's like things just start happening. Things you never heard of just happening. It make you wonder what's going on. What is really happening?
well, you know what, Queen? I saw something where and I didn't send it to everyone, but I should have sent it to all of you. Where they were saying Jamaica passport is one of the best passports to have.
Yeah, you get to go in many
You can
countries.
read
Yeah.
all of these countries. So all of these visa requirements now that are being placed is is
Mm.
a lot of things is coming on America based off
Yeah.
47 and the tariffs and all of these things that he's
He's
presenting.
putting out there. Yeah.
So as we're speaking
Mhm.
on tariffs, before we even go, yeah, let's speak on the tariff. Trump at the White House, 12 countries extreme tariff. The stocks are dropping left and right. Everything is going fast. And don't be afraid of the stocks dropping. You know, if you have money, still invest because what goes down, will come back up. Um, but I think it was Jai who bought this, or was it you, Queen, who bought this topic in 12 countries? We could touch that as the tariff, or I didn't get to do a full research on this thing,
Mhm.
Trump's third term, because he's making this thing. He's getting a lot of um, exposure on this third term. And there seems to be a lot of persons who are saying that it's starting to look possible that he can really, really do a third term in office.
Mhm.
All right. So want to know some of you all's thoughts on that with if you all know anything and want to bring it to the table on that. It says Trump won't rule out seeking a third term in the White House, tells NBC. President Donald Trump said in a Sunday morning phone call that he was not joking about a third term, adding that it is far too early to think about it. Well, they're also saying that Trump did not rule out the possibility of seeking a third term in the White House, which is prohibited by the Constitution under the 22nd Amendment, saying in an exclusive interview. Well, a lot of people want me to do it, Trump said in a Sunday morning. So it says, but I mean, I basically tell them we have a long way to go. So there was another article that was stating that a lot of what he's doing now is gearing up to that. What's your thought on a third term in as president? Is there a way to change the 22nd Amendment to let something like that take place? Um,
The
Well,
Supreme Court already said no.
No, no, I don't think it is. Mm-mm. They will shut him down for sure.
w-
okay.
well, like someone also, I was watching one of these talk show, and like they were also pointing out that unless he's gonna have his vice president get the presidency and he works behind the vice president. See what I'm saying? So he will still be considered the president because he will be pulling the shots and what have you, but he would be under the vice president and the vice president would be the president. So it's like he would be working for him.
Well,
But under the Constitution, it is not, he cannot do that. And right now we have a couple of judges that are real and not being bought off because a lot of these judges are being bought.
let
Okay,
me say
um,
this.
with
Let me say
with
this.
his, mhm. Go on, hon.
Is there a constitutional law against an ex-president being chosen as a vice president? Um,
I have,
Ira said, just trying to get your minds off of what's going on now. Yeah, that's a way to redirect us on what's going on. Um, Mama Acid, is there a constitutional law? Because I know you're good with the Constitution. Is there a
yeah.
constitutional law saying that a president cannot be a vice president if
The
I never
the
seen that.
law reads that you have served at the top. There's no place to go beyond that. So you cannot get back in line. That's why the law is written that way. The other part of it is this: if something happens to the vice president, who
right?
becomes president? The chief of the Senate, who right now would be who? Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
So we have to look at what's going on. Here's the real deal. Today, the Senate, after receiving a bill from the Congress, decided to approve the end of any thoughts of emergency resolution or action. No military action, no emergency military action in America, cannot declare martial law. None of that. The Senate today made a resolution and passed it. They sent it to the president. So he now understands directly from the people who make the laws. As well, the parliamentarian from the Senate and the Congress sent a copy of the Constitution, all of the amendments, the Bill of Rights, and any changes to the president with that, saying to him, in the event you need this. So when the president has to be advised of the Constitution by the Senate, that is a legal action. So what they have done is they have warned him. And by doing that, when he threatened last week the Supreme Court with impeachment, they said, that's going too far. That's what's up.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. All right. Well, that clears that up. Right.
But you know, the Constitution also says that you're not supposed to serve more than 2 terms. Isn't that so? At a time, isn't that so?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Mm. Mm.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, but this man is he just he had me going what because of the things he's doing. He was on that lawn, that White House lawn, saying quite a bit of things. Sunday. He was there talking up quite a bit of things. So I don't know.
Man.
The tariff is 12 countries now we have tariff on, and they're reciprocating by putting tariff on us. So now your clothing is gonna go up. Your everything is going up, and they said it definitely is going up. So be prepared for it, guys.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, everything is going up, and
Hmm.
you can
Hmm.
shop now and store some stuff. As you know, I always say emergency, emergency, emergency supplies. Stock up where you can stock
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the road is gonna get a little rocky. You know, it's gonna get a lot.
Even furniture. Can you imagine furniture?
Um, just an update that someone just sent me. As to the young man that we were talking about that was arrested for leaving the children for a job interview, it is stated here that he did not go. He never went on a job interview. He left the children 10, 6, and 1 alone for about an hour and a half. He ran to drop something off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I read that too. I was gonna say that before we
Okay.
moved on.
Yeah.
Can't do
But I
that.
mean, if it's, and that's why I was gonna say I kind of understand both ends of it. Like when people are a little, they're uncomfortable with the idea because so much is going on right now and people are weird. But then I also understand the part where it's like we don't even have enough trust in like our community kind of thing to where it's like, can you look out for them? A neighbor, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So
They're
it's bad
saying
on both
that he
ends.
was retracing his steps because he lost his ID, his ID. And
Oh.
so his explanation to the police involved retracing steps to recover a lost ID and bank card, complicating his account of attending a job interview. So he did go on a job interview earlier that day. But at that particular moment, when he left the children there for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
saying it was no job interview or anything like that, and that he wasn't expecting a call back for a formal interview or anything such as. So I'll read up, I guess, a little bit, and if I have more information, because it was just sent to me, and I can't read everything on the text here. So I'll go into it a little bit more maybe next week if it's warranted. If it's not warranted, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So let's jump into human behavior. The respecter.
Okay.
Human behavior.
Before we even go into human behavior, did anyone else have anything to touch on Trump meeting the 12 countries that is answering him back with extreme tariffs?
No, I'm good.
All right.
We do.
No, I was just gonna say the first time when we were discussing it, that's what I meant about like being prepared and having a plan B.
Yeah, it's important to be prepared. So everyone, and we preach that, we've been preaching that for the last almost 20 years on Reason and Thursday, is that everyone should have a backup. Find, if you have a closet where you can store, if you have a garage where you can have some shelves, and just make that for emergency purposes. If you have a basement, where you could set up your emergency supplies. Always
Right.
have your emergency supplies. It takes 4 gallons of water for each individuals to survive off of for 3 days. Your food. You can buy those REO foods. If not, then you can always make sure if you go into the grocery stores, just look. You got the expiration date
Mm-hmm.
on things. Just rotate your groceries. If you know that you've got something in there, write out a list. And what we do is we write out a list and we have the expiration dates. So when it's coming close to the expiration dates, we go back and we shop for those items. And then we do a restock, and we restock, and we use the stuff that's soon to be expired. So that's a way that all of our listeners can, definitely make sure that they are prepared. It might sound like something so simple, but so hard.
No, but it
And so
is. Even now, it's
ne-
getting warmer, so we can start planting. I plant in my pots because I have a porch out there. So therefore, I have to plant my stuff in pots, and you do yield things. I got sweet potatoes out of my pots. I got some big pots and planted my potatoes in there, and you can do that. At least for the
we're
summer months.
with you planning and stuff, but I'm just talking about emergency supply that is in your home,
Mhm.
non-perishable,
Mhm.
goods. The water and the canned items, and the way to preserve your rice. If you even have a bag of rice, you get one of those lunar bags and put it in a container and seal it, and definitely seal it. There's lots of ways for you all to find out how to do those stuff on
Mhm.
YouTube.
You-
You could YouTube it, and it will
Mhm.
tell you how to preserve a lot of those items. Canning. If for who don't know how to do canning, you can go on YouTube and learn how to do some of those canning, but even some of the fresh vegetables that you're talking about, Queen.
Mhm.
So there's lots of ways to go about um, having emergency supplies in your home. Myra says that with the stock market crashing today, fireworks are going to go off tomorrow. Yes,
Mhm.
it definitely
Mhm.
is. Myra also says it's easy to say, but what are the people who have had their jobs taken away from them supports to do?
Mhm.
It's sad. There's so many people losing jobs left and right. A lot of them who's losing contracts left and right, that we're not even, just because a lot of persons are focused on the CDCs and the federal jobs and things like that, but there are little mom and pop things that are going through it, that we're getting federal contracts that have now lost those federal contracts. I know several people who have, and they're going through a whole thing right there. So, yeah, when I'm hopefully when it hits whom it's supposed to hit, some things can
Mhm.
really start changing, and we'll wait and see what the fireworks are tomorrow, Myra, because I'm showing that I was looking at that stock situation as well, and the Dow is down, Nasdaq is down, all of
Mhm.
is down. I've lost a lot of funds as well. So, I mean, I definitely know what persons are going through in regards to the stock market. So, hoping that the big wigs whom are losing the most will step up and say, all right, let's get this, something has to be done. Something has to be done.
Those,
I was seeing where something with Elon Musk and
mm,
being Mama Acid had called me on that too with Elon Musk and him being out, but it was stated today that he wasn't out.
He's not.
Um, he's still in there doing his thing. I guess it's once again another distraction.
he have till next month, isn't it May? May 1st? I think he have till May 1st.
Wait a minute, what was you saying, Acid? Mama Acid, was you saying something?
I wanted to say that his contract is up. As well, he and Trump have had some major differences of opinion, and the market is not enjoying what he's doing. So the Tesla stockholders told him, "You have a company over here, and if you don't show back up and tell us why you are destroying our value, we are going to basically remove you as head of the board." So that happened 2 weeks ago. When the Tesla stock report came in at the end of the month for Europe, and it saw, because we thought it was 37%, Tesla was down in Europe, Tesla's down 49 to 53%. In some places in Europe, just like in Canada, they have decided they will not, um, they're not going to allow them on the streets, and they're not going to insure them. So when the insurance companies start blocking insurance coverage for your vehicles, you're not going to be able to be on the roads. Other issue is the tax amounts for the EV credits. Tesla went to Canada and took several $billion worth of EV credits that were for electric vehicles purchased in Canada, and they held them for Teslas that were not purchased but sitting on lots. They expired. So Tesla stopped almost a million people in Canada from being able to get a EV credit for their new electric vehicle simply through manipulation. And that angered Canada so much that now at the US border and at the New York border, there are signs that don't allow Tesla to enter Canada.
Okay.
That is not a hoax. Those are actual signs. And the reason it happened was because they said, if we can't document that your vehicle is safe and it won't cause a profound amount of danger and injury and destruction in our country, we would prefer it not come into our country.
Well, hopefully he'll be out of there and he will stop wreaking havoc on here and go focus on his
his
testimony.
business because he lost billions. Yeah.
Donnie says Trump and Obama pretty much said the same thing, so I'm not quite understanding what the uproar about Trump's plans are about. Well, I don't know if during Obama's reign that all of these stocks were falling and all of these things were going on, and he left us with one of the best economy at that time.
He
So
also fixed the previous economy left to him by George Bush, which
Right.
was in a shambles because of what had happened in the Middle East.
right. So all righty. Let's move on. Let's go to human behavior. What's the human behavior, the respecter?
Human behavior.
Uh-huh.
Good is bad. It's in between. It is a situation where a person can get so quickly and easily turned off by another person who they're supposed to respect and love, who's a part of their circle, their family, so on and so forth. Misunderstandings in human behavior. I'm going to just quickly say this one time. What happened last Thursday? I got off and I sat back and I hope that everyone watched the program on YouTube and see where things could have been addressed better in order because the world is watching. That's my main concern for all of us. The world is watching and we're hoping to get into a bigger position. So when things is not being in order as order was set and then got to the last person, it was supposed to come to me and then the host said a few words and then she thought she heard Mama Acid say something and then it started over again from Mama Acid all the way back down to the host. It kind of tore me off. I don't know if any one of you ever been in a position where you have a train of thought, we have something to say, and because of confusion, and one person not remembering or should have said, no, the respect is next. Or remember you said this order, and then you repeating the order, and then the respect is being silent. No one was saying anything towards, well, we already said our piece, four of us. We came back to you, and then it was supposed to be me, and it went start all over again. And just by me addressing that situation, it led me to feel as if I did something wrong and said something wrong. I'm thinking of the order of the show. People are watching around the world. They're listening. They're hearing what we're saying. So I didn't want to sit on the panel, feel as if I was doing or acting strange. Don Miner came in and said some agree with me on stuff. That's all good. But we are not supposed to be in a position where we seem as if we're taking sides with this one and that one. We're supposed to reason together, agree to disagree, and all that type of stuff without any animosity or bad vibes or bad feelings. That night, my ears rang like never before. Trying to go to bed. Took me a while. I got up, start the week with every one of you. I mean, Friday came, got all of you on my mind. What did I say wrong? What did I do wrong? All that type of stuff. Made some phone calls, no answer. Sent some message, no reply. And I'm like, come on. We're bigger than this. We're bigger than this.
Okay.
I was just mainly speaking on behalf of order. And that be mindful of the next person. And to be truthful, there was someone other than myself on the panel that they are forgotten. Didn't say a word for a long time. Wasn't called on for a long time. So all I'm trying to do is get us to be mindful of the next person. Yeah, we want to ask every time lady be speaking. I just got been speaking before she took over, and I can't get my kin.
Okay.
That's not good order.
All right. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts, and then I'll chime in.
No, I'm just saying that is not
All
good
right.
order. But the best way to judge me or judge the next person, watch the program back before you come to an agreement of the behavior of one of us or all of us.
Okay. Well, let me address that. Let me say something in regards to that. All right. Now, the show is called Reasoning Thursdays, and yes, we definitely try to have order. But sometimes depending on the topic and the emotions that is running at the time and things that are being addressed at that time, one or two may be skipped over because someone may have more knowledge or more, or something that a person said required an answer at that particular time. Not that anyone is being disrespected or not that anyone is being looked over, that their statements or their input into something um, it's not valid and it's not important. But in the line of reasoning, as we're doing, as we've done today, and it's the same thing. Sometimes what one person is saying, it may end up that someone else jumps in and yeah, what that person said required an answer. So everyone being addressed, and sometimes just like one inserts themselves, maybe another one need to be aggressive as well and insert themselves. My thought on the situation last week when you brought it up and you brought it in, there's a time for me, there's a time and a place for everything. And the amount of time that it takes for a one to sit there and to scold individuals on a live program over whose turn is next, I just feel that that was also not the right place nor time for it. And it's not something that you've done once or twice. You've done that several times. And I feel that the energy that is taken to do that, express what the topic is and speak on the topic when you do have the platform. Because at that time when the platform is heated, the platform get heated and we're talking serious topics, we don't I don't feel that anyone wants to be chastised as to whom goes first, whom goes second, whom goes third, because the topic is being reasoned on. So there is time that Don chime in or Queen chime in or Jai chime in or you chime in, or maybe we are not as laid back and as lax as you are. So for us, the adrenaline is flowing. So we will go on and express ourselves, and maybe the respecter is sitting back, and we've had that discussion off air as well, where I've said to you, well, the respecter, you may need to just be a little bit more assertive. And sometimes when I'll come and I'll say, okay, then go ahead, the respecter don't have anything to say. So when the heat is on and discussions are being carried on, if you are passionate in what you're doing and what you want to bring forth to the listening audience and to the masses, then I think you should go for it versus sitting there talking about time. We were in the midst of a heated conversation last week. And I caught it and I said, oh my gosh, the respecter, what you have to say about it. Instead of you coming on and reasoning on what the topic was, you chose to degrade us on a live on a live platform as to whom go first and whom goes second, when you could have called me off air and reasoned me with me on that. So when you're talking about human behavior, at that time, I didn't think at that time that that was the place and time for that conversation, because we were in a heated conversation. We was in a heated reasoning. So as to saying that you called and you tried to address situation, this week for me was very trying. I had a sister that was in an emergency room. Life goes on. I was lifing.
Mm.
My sister was in the emergency room thinking we had a stroke. My brother
Mm.
was in the
Mm.
emergency room, fainted, thinking that he had issues.
Mhm.
I have a business that I was running on top of it. So life was lifing. So my life didn't stop because of a reasoning program, and to be able to get back with you because there was other life emergencies that was occurring. I even explained today that I came in. I had my own issues. I had to go to the doctor myself this morning that I haven't been at for years to check on myself because my life was lifing. And when I came in, I went to sleep. My body just shut down. So once
Mm-hmm.
again, my life is lifing. So while you're sitting there wondering and worrying about Thursday, I'm worried about today. And I'm lifing for today because Thursday already happened and it wasn't that impactful for me that what was going on in my life that I needed to stop and to address when I know that it wasn't detrimental to me at that particular time. That's why even on the program you watched it back, I said, okay, the respecter, let's just we're reasoning, let's just reason. When we're finished, there's a time and a place for everything. I've learned that from I'm a child. There's a time and a place
Mm-hmm.
for everything. And I don't feel that we need to stop a program, especially when we're speaking of very serious, informative information, giving it to our listeners to address a line of order. So if I am being insensitive or I was insensitive at that particular time last week, I do apologize. I do apologize if I made you feel dismissive, if I made you feel like you did something that was going to end the world or anything such as that was definitely not my intentions. My intentions was to keep the program going. So if any of our other listeners saw that in the program, then once again, I definitely apologize. And on human behavior, since you brought the topic up, it sometimes goes off of adrenaline. And I do understand the fact where you come in and you say persons need to be mindful of another one's time. But once again, I've interrupted persons on the platform. You know, interrupted some that's on the platform. See, Donna says some of us weren't so fortunate where Donna, even last week, we were so heated that when I looked, it was 2 minutes left on the program.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it has anything to do with human behavior. I think it just has to do with the situation that is occurring at that particular time. Because in my human behavior, I respect all, and I respect each and every one, our listeners, our guests, our hosts. I respect everyone's time. And that is why the platform and the topics that we raise here each and every week for the last 20 years, we have been here on Reasoning Thursday doing this. Started out with myself and Mama Acid and has grown to a bigger platform that we are servicing all over the world, as you have explained. And I'm quite sure instead of sitting here reasoning on first, third, and second, our listeners would more appreciate us sticking to topics of importance that will impact their lives one way or the other. So when I say, let's move on, just get to the point, that's exactly what I'm striving for each and every week that we're on Reasoning Thursdays. And I'm hoping that everyone on the panel and the listeners who comments is striving to do the same thing, is to get to the point. Not the point about everyone's lie, their what their experiences, but getting to the point so that the positive impacts that we're trying to bring forth each and every week to our listeners, why we have listeners and why we've been in existence for 20 years, that they continue to come back because we're giving informative, valuable information. And some of the times, yes, we may be disorderly, but some of the times we are orderly. So I try my best to designate time, and I try my best that when I don't hear someone, I try to bring them in. But I'm, once again, when a topic and a person is saying something at that particular time that becomes heated and need to be addressed, I'm allowing it to be addressed. Absolutely no disrespect to anyone that is typing in their comments, calling in their comments, or on the panel that is expressing their comments or themselves. So once again, I apologize lively, loudly on this platform. And I've given you this opportunity to express yourself so that the listeners also understand what I'm here to do and what I hope that each and every guest that we have on this platform is here to do, is to present facts and stick to the point and get to the point. You have the floor again, the respecter.
And that is what we discussed a few times. So that is very important to me as well as you
Yeah.
and the rest of the panel that we do this as best as we can for the people who are listening and watching, giving us their time,
Yeah.
can keep coming back. That is all my whole purpose of reacting sometimes. But like I said earlier, I would love for the panel spend some time and just watch program back and see how each of us can make it better.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like I need to jump in on everything. I'm not trying to jump in on everything. And I'm just hoping that we all feel the same way to keep the program going and moving on faster. Because when something drags out, it doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't feel good. And I'm just hoping for the best of this show. So all of us can be mindful. And when Lady is speaking, she can finish and say, Queen, Mama Asid, Noni, Jay, Darespecta. A bit more order, more professional. That's all I'm really concerned about.
Her reasoning is not really. Anyway, I guess my perception of reasoning is different from yours.
That's why sometimes, in reasoning, sometimes we try to keep it not argumentative. We we
Yeah.
we try to keep it flowing. And I totally respect and understand where you're coming from, the respecter. And I have many, all just about the majority of the time, have reviewed um, a lot of past um, programs, and I encourage all of our listeners to go back into, if you've missed the topic, because when you're missing Reasoning Thursdays, you're not just missing a little bit, you're really missing a lot of information that is presented each and every week. So, yes, we can be a little bit more mindful as to time as even me designating time here and there. Like I would say, Noni, what do you have to say? Jai, I do it every week. But some of the times when topics are heated, then I would suggest you get a thick skin, the respecter, and jump in where you need to jump in. Okay? But I will most definitely continue to section off the times as best as possible. And I
I'm gonna
thank
jump in
you.
and say,
Yeah.
I accept that offer. I'm jumping in.
Yes.
And
Do that.
I have nothing but love for all of you.
Okay. All right.
Nothing but love and
Well,
respect
since
for
we're
all of
on
you.
the same page, jump in where you need
Okay.
to jump in and stop waiting for a special invitation. How about
I'm
okay?
not.
Okay. So
I
and
guess
it's
some say
not
it's bad
being
habit.
disrespectful, it's just being passionate in the topic that is being discussed at that particular time. All right. And I know that we keep the listenership, so we're doing something right. Okay. We keep the
Absolutely.
we're keeping the listenership and we're keeping the growth going, because I'm seeing, uh, when I look at our stats, I'm seeing all over the world. I'm seeing Spain, I'm seeing Germany, I'm seeing Puerto Rico, I'm seeing Tanzania, I'm seeing Ghana, I'm seeing that I say, yeah, Jamaica, I'm seeing Guyana, I'm seeing St. Kitts, I'm seeing all over the world, not just America looking at us. So obviously our platform is growing and they like what they're hearing. So let's continue to give the masses what they love.
Mhm.
Okay. And yes, we'll try to do
Absolutely.
it in as
Absolutely.
much of an orderly, more fashion as you say. So, our listeners, I know we took a whole lot of time just now going into all of this with you all, but the respective topic is human behavior. So, and I knew that that human behavior topic was based off of last week. So, I wanted to go on and address it because as I give any of our listeners, if you call in or if you text me ahead of time and says, or email us at dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com, you want a topic to be discussed, or whatever you're saying is a little bit off and you want to join us on the panel. I don't mind our listeners joining us on the panel. I'll send you a link to join us on the panel. Just need to know what the topic is. So that's how open we are here on Reasoning Thursdays, is that we invite our listeners to be on our panel. All right. You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a psychologist. You don't have to
Yeah.
be a doctor. We just want normal, everyday people that has concerns and topics to be discussed. No topic is off limit over here on Reasoning Thursdays. We discuss every single topic. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So we love doing what we're doing, and we appreciate each and every one of our listeners that continue to listen to us. I got an email, and we didn't discuss it off air, so we're not going to really, it's an incest in family. And I had saw that and I posted last week, but I didn't really get into the message until this evening, where they were talking about something about a father um with the mother, with the child, and it's a whole bunch of hoopla, but I have to go into it in order for us to really reason on it. But the time is coming down for us to sign off. I'm hoping that you all did full joy the program with the knowledge. And once again, kudos to London High School for the program that they've implemented. We want to say kudos to the landlord who burned down his house. We want to say once we become independent, that maybe we can visit Jamaica, the visa situation. And I want to encourage these Caribbean officers to continue to speak patois to everybody that you arrest. And I kudos Senator Bradford Brandon for the contraception begin at Erection Act, and I want him to bring it back. I want to kudos and once again say to each and every one, always be prepared. Don't let anything get you off. If you all want more information, once again, on making sure that you have your emergency supplies in your home, all right? Have your emergency supplies in your home. You don't have to worry
And don't
about
forget,
being, yeah, go ahead.
don't forget Senator Cory Booker.
What's going on with Senator Cory Booker? Oh
He
yes.
said, and
Big ups to Senator Cory Booker. 25 hours he kept them on the
yeah,
Senate floor. You see,
Yeah.
that's why you
Yeah.
gotta insert yourself, the respecter. And I just want
yeah,
to
yeah.
say big ups to the respecter on the human behavior and having to explain, our side to it and the reason why it went how it went, and me addressing you last week. But just like you just did, you insert yourself. If the topic needs to stop, I'll stop it and say, wait a minute, the respect is saying something. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. Let's do it like that and just love each other. Everyone, you all have an opportunity to, you all want to address the respecter real quick, and then we say our arrivedercis.
Respecter. The respecter. You know
You,
I love you
I love
too,
you
but
too.
and listen here. I know sometimes I get a little carried away. I do sometimes I get, especially when I'm passionate about something. I get like that, but that don't mean nothing. You know it. All right? Love you just the same. All right? We cool,
No,
right?
no problem. No
All right.
problem.
And I'm trying better. When John, what's it, my friend name? Um
oh, Don
that
Miami.
Don reprimand me the other day. I sort of kind of slowed down. Didn't you notice? Didn't you notice the
No,
respecter? You didn't notice?
I could answer for you, the respecter. No, we didn't notice.
I'm
Jai,
trying, my
Jody, the
brother. I'm
juice,
trying.
Mama
And
Acid,
I apologize.
you all
I'm
wanted
trying.
to address what the human behavior.
Well, to respecter, I just want to say love, love, love. If you got something to say, just say it.
Just say it.
I always feel special, which I am, because to be on a panel with all ladies, and then Dan supposed to come on, but Dan, for whatever reason, don't want to come on and join. But he's always, everybody love to hear his voice, not just Jai. Everybody love to hear his voice and his comments and all that good stuff. But it's gonna happen, whether you want to or not. Right, Lady D?
Oh, he a part of the
We
crew.
need we need another man on this panel because the respecter get beat up. So we're
Yes.
gonna have to try to get another man
Dan,
soon on this
Dan
panel.
is gonna join.
John, you want to say something?
No, I just feel like it's the same like everybody else. I can understand where you're coming from, but sometimes when you're passionate, you're not even paying attention. So it's cool to just, say, hey, I got something to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Respect.
Noni,
I am here. Um, I think that was really, really good talk. And one thing I will say about you, Lady D, you will recognize who hasn't spoken and you will address it. You always do that. And I really appreciate that. And the respecter, if you've gotten looked over, all that kind of good stuff, she's exactly right. We do get very passionate here on this panel, and but um, definitely didn't mean anything by it. Just like Lady D said, jump in there, get some of it while it's hot. So I just want to thank all the listeners for listening in. Continue to share on all the social medias. I enjoyed everybody tonight. Have a good night. Arrivederci.
if you if
I
you're
don't know if
if,
I can handle hot.
if you're a if you're a man out there and you would like to join us on our panel, we welcome you. Send us, or if you know a gentleman that is good with reasoning, right? Just send them on over to us, dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com, and send us information or just have him to link us. All right. And we will definitely consider him for
We're not
being
looking
on the
for no.
panel.
We're not looking for no ejaculators though.
I cannot.
You didn't go there, did
It's a
you?
$1,000 fine, first offense.
Bless them. Donna says, family ramble, family ramble. And she's laughing. Okay, just blessings to you all. Next week, same time, same place. Be sure to join the Lady D show for this Sunday. Yeah, me Sunday. This Saturday, I have Mega Shocks that's going to be live with me. I had to apologize for last week as well because, as I said, one emergency after the other I was dealing with, and I know it took a toll on me because I really shut down today. So blessings to each and every one. Thank you all so much for continuing to join us. We appreciate you all because without you all, there ain't us. We thank each and every one for their comments, for commenting and texting and all of these things. All right. And we ask you to share the program with your friends, family, colleagues. We ask you also to go over to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, so you can get notified when our talk programmings are on. Sunday, I'm not too sure. I think we're still going to go on for All About Love, Nothing But Love, but we have a couple of the panel that's going to be traveling. And also just continue to tune in. Want to say big shouts to YouTube's radio, Victorious 89.1 FM here in Atlanta on your radio dials. Want to say big shouts to you and all the listeners that are listening on that platform as well. Those platforms, you choose and Victorious. So blessings upon blessings upon blessings. We love you and we thank you once again. Big up yourself, Donna, Don Minot, Myra, Juliet, and all whom comment, Sharon, and the whole nine, the whole crew. We thank you all once again. All right. Blessings. See you all.
Good night. Night.
Good night. Oh,
Good.
Coco T's funeral is supposed to be kept this Saturday. And I know there's been 9 nights all over the place. So just if you're interested, all right, in that. But join me Saturday, Lady D show, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. You don't want to miss it, all right? Because we give you news, your views, nothing but the best music. I got R&B, old school. I'm an old school girl, okay? So the music that I play is back in the days. I'm doing from anywhere from 70s, come on up to 2000s. And yeah, sometimes I throw some of them 2000s in there. But I'm an old school R&B girl. I'm an old school reggae. I'm an old school all of that. Soca. I'm an old school. Alrighty, that's the flavor. Big people things on my show. Blessings. Check you all on out.
Oh, now, baby, I'm begging you, baby.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Love, don't throw it all away, love. Don't throw it all away, love, don't throw it all away, love. No, don't throw it all away, love, don't throw it all away, love. Don't throw it